Okay, so we are just 1 minute away to start our show. It's 5:29. I think it's 5:30.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah. So just unmute Chrissy also, and we will just start.
She's unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 5:30. It's dot 5:30, and we start our show. Welcome each one of you to Rapid Talks with Rachnaa once again. Rapid Talks with Rachnaa is an initiative of FUN2LEARN, a 15-year-old organization which deals with life skills development apart from beyond academics. FUN2LEARN excels into handwriting improvement, mental maths, spoken English, jolly phonics, and work from home opportunities. We deal with women empowerment, beti bachao, beti padhao, and so far we have trained more than 1,25,000 students over a career of 15 years. Today we will be talking about the child abuse, the most awaited topic, and I must say it is the need of the hour. When we talk about child abuse, abuse manipulates and twists a child's natural sense of trust and love. Her innocent feelings are belittled or mocked, and she learns to ignore her feelings. She can't afford to feel the full range of feelings in her body while she is being abused, pain, outrage, hate, confusion, arousal. So Neeta, just check if anybody is unmuted. Just please take care.
Yes, ma'am.
So she short circuits them and goes numb. For many children, an expression of feelings, even a single tear, is a cause for more severe abuse. Again, the only recourse is to shut down. Feelings go underground. Many abused children cling to the hope that growing up will bring escape and freedom. But the personality formed in the environment of coercive control is not well adapted to the adult life. She is still a prisoner of her childhood, attempting to create a new life. She encounters the trauma. So to discuss on child abuse, today we have our eminent guest is Chrissy Sykes from South Africa. So just let me give a brief profile about our today's guest. Chrissy is an award-winning singer, songwriter with a career in South Africa and USA. Chrissy decided to put her songwriting skills into practice by writing the My Body is My Body program. The program is developed in conjunction with various departments of education and departments of human services in the United States of America. Chrissy realized I would request all my participants that please, we all are using Zoom since last 4 months, so request all to please mute yourself so that we can hear our guest properly today. Chrissy realized that she could only reach a small portion of children by presenting her live show. So she decided to animate the program so that it could be shared on the internet and distributed to the schools, teachers, and parents worldwide. It took Chrissy 4 years to learn how to animate and set up a studio, and in 2017, she released the first animation in English. And the videos were well received that she had several requests to produce in various languages. And we have more than 5 lakh viewers on YouTube. She has translated her program into 16 languages. This program is free for everyone. So before we would start our today's conversation, I would like to welcome our guest, Chrissy, on board at Rapid Talks with Rachnaa. And I would request Chrissy to introduce little more about yourself. Over to you, Chrissy.
Thank you very much, Rachnaa. I'm just making sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you are audible, Chrissy.
Okay, lovely. I see we've got a mixture of parents and children today, so I'll try and do the talk so that everybody can understand, and the kids as well. So hello, everybody. It's lovely to be with you and lovely to share. I started this program 30 years ago in America, and we found that music was a wonderful way to teach children, especially about this difficult subject. Child abuse is not a subject that people like to talk about. They find it hard. They don't know how to start the conversations. And so what happens is we tend not to talk about it. But I found that with using little songs for children, and this program is mainly aimed at from 3 to 10 years old, but can be used for older children. But the songs open the conversation for you to talk to your children and for teachers to talk to their children in the classrooms. So it just bridges the gap between how do you start these conversations, and then it allows the children to ask questions, which is what we need. We need our children to be able to talk about the subject, ask questions, and ask if somebody's doing something inappropriate, and then you can guide them. So let me tell you why we need to talk about child abuse. Apart from before COVID, child abuse was a massive problem. We're talking about WHO statistics are over 1 billion children per year are abused. That is a massive amount of children. It's nearly 50% of all our children in the world. And this involves sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, and physical, sexual, mental abuse. Yes. So we've got to look at this and decide that this is not good enough. It's not changed that drastically over the years. So I believe that we can't wait for governments to do this for us. We as parents, teachers, and people that work with kids have got to do it from the ground upwards so that we can start protecting our children. So 90% or over 90% of children are abused by people that they know, love, and trust. And also that the parents know, love, and trust. So, because we don't leave our children with people that we don't know or that we don't like. We trust people to look after our children. But the reason that it's happening is that the parents do trust these people with their children. So you have got to educate your child how to stay safe. And how I do it is through the My Body is My Body program, which Rachnaa has said is free for everybody to use. It's on the internet. There's plenty of guidelines. There's lesson plans. There's tutorials. So if you're not sure what to say, go and have a look at the website above my head. So we teach children that our bodies are special, that nobody has a right to hurt us. Nobody has a right to touch our private parts. We do not need to go into anything further. We don't need to explain things in detail. We just have very simple rules. This is my body. These are my private parts. Nobody touches my private parts. Now you can explain to children that when they're small and parents are bathing them, that's all right because they're little and they don't know how to do it for themselves. But as they get older, they will learn how to bathe themselves. And the only other time somebody would ever touch your private parts is if you're sick or sore, need some medicine there, or you need to go and see the doctor who might need to look there. But your parent or your guardian or your carer should be with you in that doctor's meeting. You shouldn't be on your own. So that's all we need to teach children, is that these are my private parts. Nobody's allowed to touch them. Nobody should be doing anything to hurt me, and nobody should be taking photographs of my private parts. With the advent of the internet, it's made it very, very easy for abusers to take advantage of children. And I was very disturbed the other day when I found that there was a thing online where pedophiles are actually creating documents on how to get to children and how to trick them into doing things. And they're sharing this online. And so that is very disturbing. So we need to teach our children. I can't explain how important it is. It's just something we have to do. And once you've opened those lines of communication with your child will then feel more comfortable and know that it's acceptable to talk about these things with you. So that's really, really important. And before I go on to abuse a little bit more, I was talking to parents yesterday about the internet, and parents were saying, well, I don't have parental controls on my internet because I'm on the internet all the time. But you need to have your parental controls on your computer if your children are going on, because they can click. There was a story the other day where a 6-year-old she asked her mum something about sex, and her mum said, I'm busy now, I'll talk to you later. And she went online, and her mother hadn't got parental controls, and she typed in sex, a 6-year-old, into the internet and got all sorts of pictures that she shouldn't have been looking at. So we have to learn that even at that age, they're internet savvy, these kids. They know how to go online, and they know how to ask questions. So we have to do the protecting. We have to put the parental controls on their apps, on the internet, on your broadband. There's lots of things to do. I could do something on that at a later stage, but we'll go back to the abuse. Would it be all right, Rachnaa, if I shared one of the songs? I won't do the whole song, but I want to show the parents and the kids that we can do this through songs very, very easily. Is that okay?
Yes, we can. I will be putting the questions, and before that, yes, you can do. We all will love to hear that song and what you are doing, so
Okay.
that we can just. Would you like me to make you the co-host? So that
No, don't worry. I'll just do it from here. That's fine.
Okay.
It'll play.
Yes, we would love to hear that.
Okay. So this song is the first song in the program. There's 6 songs in the program, and each song shares a message. So I'll tell you about that in a little while. But this first song is the My Body is My Body song. So then you, as I say, you're teaching your children your body is very special and it belongs to you and nobody else. And this is a good thing for all kids to grow up with, even when they're teenagers, that this is my body and I have a right to say what happens to my body. And so this is the song. I'll just sing a little bit with you. If you want to sing along, you can.
Right. We would love to.
My body, nobody has the right to hurt me. My body is my body for me. It's my body, and nobody has the right to touch me. It's my body is my body for me. I've got 2 hands to feel and 2 eyes to see and 2 ears to hear what you're telling me. I've got 2 strong legs to take me where I go, and I've also got some private parts that I don't want to show. It's my body, and nobody has the right to hurt me. 'Cause my body is my body for me. So that's just an idea of how this you can use the songs and have fun.
It was lovely, and I would like to have this song so that I can pass it on to my students. I am connected. Chrissy, I am connected with more than 15,000 students and more than 5,000 educators globally. So I would like to share this with each one of them so that the educators also can forward it to each and everybody. It's lovely, and it is a need of the hour, which reminds me to say I thought I would be saying this towards the end. We should learn, the kids or adult, we should learn to say no.
Yes.
Because that
Absolutely.
is very important, that we should learn to say no. Usually we cannot say no, and that is how it happens. So this song is lovely. Any other song before we go on to the next question? Do you want to play something else? Chrissy, before we go on to our set of questions, would you like to play some other song as well?
Do you want me to explain a bit more about the program?
No, I will be putting the questions. I thought you said a few songs, so I thought you want to.
Oh, all right. We'll do one more song, and I'll tell the kids and the parents how this works. The next song in the program is called "If It Don't Feel Right, Don't Do It." Now I know the English teachers will probably have a fit with the English in the song, but it was written that way so that the kids remember it. If it don't feel right, don't do it. And I'm just actually doing the Hindi version of this song as well at the moment.
Wow, that's lovely. And any help for Hindi version, if you require, you can connect with us.
Oh,
and
fantastic! Yeah,
so
I'll send over that stuff. So yes, so this is going to be fun. So this song is about teaching children about their feelings, because we all know that when we feel, when somebody's doing something to us that's not right, we feel it. So it's teaching them to listen to their feelings. So that's why it says, if it don't feel right, don't do it. So you can use peer pressure with this song. If one of your friends is trying to make you do things that you know are wrong, or that you know your mom and dad won't want you to do, if it don't feel right, don't do it. You can say no. The no is the biggest word we can use in all of this. No. And so, yes, teaching kids all sorts of things about their feelings, that we all feel happy, we feel sad, we feel lonely, we feel angry, we'll feel, at the moment, we feel a little bit scared about things that are going on. But if we talk about them, it all helps. So this is a little rap song called "If It Don't Feel Right, Don't Do It." But I want you to join in with me with that. All you got to do is say, "If it don't feel right, don't do it." Okay.
Okay.
People can touch you and tell that it's cool, but remember your body belongs to you. You're the one who knows if it don't feel right, and if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh, if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. There are people out there that think you're a fool, and they try to give you drugs and keep you out of school. Tell you to keep secrets, but you know what to do, because if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh, if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. People can hold you and tell you they care. I'm not telling you that it's not good to share, but you'll know inside if it don't feel right, and if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh, if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. No, if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. No, if it don't feel right, don't do it. Oh.
Wow, that was lovely. That was lovely.
So again, now I've got 5 children, and that song we still talk about and we still say, because no matter what you're doing in your life, if something doesn't feel right, you'll know, Rachnaa, in business and doing things, if you start something and it doesn't feel right, maybe we should leave it. It doesn't feel right, don't do it. So that's the thing behind that song.
Right.
There's 4 more songs. I'll just give you a quick outline of what we do.
We take up 2 questions, and then again we come back to the song. So it will be a little more inspiring in between. We will be taking up the songs. So when we talk about, Chrissy, now my question was that when we talk about abuse, it is not only the girls who are being abused. Girls and boys both are abused in a different ways. So how do we differentiate between the girls abusing or in the boys abusing? Can you just throw some light on that?
Well, I don't really think there's any differentiation. We need to teach them both the same. They both have private parts, and they both get abused. So we need to just tell them all, you have private parts, nobody has a right to touch you. It's the same for girls and boys. But people need to include boys in this, because we tend to only concentrate on girls. And
Right.
boys, 1 out of every 6 boys is sexually abused. So, you know, we need to teach boys and include them in this conversation, because boys are also less apt to talk about it. So it's very important.
All right. And now my next question is, usually it is seen that the abusers are mostly the known people, that is either the family members, the relatives, or friends. So how can we protect the children from getting abused from the near and dear ones?
Well, first of all, educate your children first, because that is the best way. So you tell them that it's all right to talk to you, and if somebody does something inappropriate, if they try to touch your private parts or do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, you come and tell me. And you make it okay for your child to be able to talk to you. I was sexually abused when I was 4 and 5, and I never told my mum because I felt that I had done something wrong. And that is most children. They feel guilty.
Right.
And
right.
so the thing is that I really like to impart to children is it's okay to tell. And if I can just put in here, if a child does tell you about abuse, please do not get angry. Do not say, I'm going to do something to that person for hurting you. Get angry somewhere else and with other people, but not in front of the child. It's very important that we are very loving, understanding. We thank them for telling us about their abuse. We tell them that they were brave to talk about it. And then we go in and report it and deal with it afterwards, but not in front of the child. But so yeah, protecting your child, and also watch for people that are going out of their way to spend time with your child. People that are going over and above to do things for you. That's how a lot of pedophiles work. They will win your trust, because you don't forget they're grooming the children, but they're also grooming the parents and the communities, so that they can have the trust to look after the children. They will sometimes get into areas where they work with children, so that they can have that, people will have that trust with them. Like that doctor that worked in the Olympics in America, they get into these positions so that they can abuse. So, like I say, open the lines of communication with your child, teach them about abuse and their bodies, that they are their own, and that they have a right to say no, and that they can come and talk to you.
But what you are saying is right, Chrissy, but most of the time, you know, as you started with, that most of the time the kids, they are scared and confused, that they, and frightened, you can say. And as you said that most of the times the kids, they feel that they have done something wrong. So they don't express themselves because of being frightened or confused or being guilty, and don't know how to react with the situation or to reach out their grievances to the parents. So how can we convey this to the kids to be more open-minded with the parents? And because usually if there is a friendly relation between the parent and the child, it is good that the child discusses everything, but most of the time it is seen that the parents are so-called parents, they are not friends. So the child, they are parents, they are not the friends of the kids. So how the child gets that confidence to discuss these type of things with their parents freely?
Well, it's up to the parents to do this, because and make it an acceptable topic to talk about, because you can bring all sorts of things into this, because you can bring in peer pressure, you can bring in talking about strangers and safety. You can talk about, again, sexual abuse, but as I say, not with the word sexual abuse. You just say private parts. Those are your private parts. And I think the more acceptable we make it to talk about, the more the children will talk about it, and they may talk to each other. I know sometimes I talk to children about how to tell if they've got a problem, because I mean, even as grown-ups, we find it difficult to bring up difficult subjects, even with our partners. You know, we sort of sit and think, how am I going to approach this? And a child doesn't have that experience. So we have to tell them that any way they want to talk about a problem is okay. So you can either tell me, or you can tell somebody else to talk to me, you know, maybe a brother or sister or an aunt or uncle, or sometimes kids have good relationships with their grandparents, so they could do it that way and then initiate the conversation, or they can write it down. A lot of children find writing a problem down if they're old enough to write, and then giving it to their parents or to somebody else. Sorry, I just turned that down. So just think of ways that a child could tell you, and just say tell the best way that you can. And if you don't want to tell me too much at first, you can just tell me a little bit today, and then we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So be very gentle with your approach with the subject. But it's very important also to watch your children. If they start withdrawing, why are they withdrawing? If there's a certain person that every time that person goes near your child flinches or sort of shies away, watch. There's a reason why that's happening. Or if your child gets angry, starts having anger tantrums, there's usually something that has caused that. So look at what's going on in the family, look at what's going on with the children, and talk to your child. Yeah.
So talking to kids is the most important to educate them. So Chrissy,
Yes.
just let me tell you that we have, as I mentioned, India is a huge country, and we have educators span India attending your talk. So again, we could have few songs, so that, and we are live also on Facebook, wherein 5,000 people are watching you. So we can again have few songs. Yes, we can have few songs, so that to create more and more awareness, because this is, I think we should try to reach out more and more of people and kids, that we need to be friends with the kids. We need to come to their level to explain them that learn to say no. And as you rightly say, if you don't feel right, don't do it, is what you said. So
absolutely.
we all would love to hear your songs again. And I'm sure I am receiving in the chat box that it was very inspiring and motivating, your song. So I guess would want to hear it again.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, do you want me to do a different one? Because there's 6 songs altogether, so I can do a different one.
So we will be hearing all the 6. 2 we already heard, 2 in between, and 2 towards the end. So all the 6 songs we will be hearing.
Okay. So this one that we're going to do is kind of what we've been discussing, is who to tell if you've got a problem. So this is very important. We need to explain to children that there's not only moms and dads, and as we've discussed, telling your mom and dad might be difficult because it is your mom and dad. So we discussed who can we tell. So we can tell moms, dads, grannies, grandpas, aunties, uncles, older brothers and sisters. We could tell our spiritual leader. We could tell a teacher, a principal, and then I leave it to the communities to add people into that frame as to who around the children would be somebody good, maybe a school counselor, or somebody in a group that maybe the children do after school activities. Maybe there's somebody there that they're comfortable. But show children there are so many people that you can talk to and deal with. So this song is called If You've Got a Problem, Tell Someone. I'm just going to get onto it. I wasn't prepared to do more than two, so I just get
it's
you.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If you've got a problem, you don't know what to do, go and tell somebody till they listen to you. You gotta find someone to tell your troubles to. If you've got a problem, find someone who'll listen to you. Talk to your mom and dad, your grand and grandpa too, your aunt or your uncle or your teacher at school. You gotta keep on selling till someone listens to you. If you got a problem, find someone to tell it to. If someone has hurt you, you don't know what to do, go and tell somebody till they listen to you. You gotta find someone to tell your troubles to. If you got a problem, find someone who'll listen to you. Talk to your neighbor, your mentor at your school, someone you know or trust. Sharing problems is a must. Just keep on selling till someone listens to you. If you got a problem, find someone to tell it to. If you got a problem, keep telling till they listen to you. Oh yeah.
Wow, that was lovely. I would add on to this. See, when we grow old and we learn things like maybe a higher standard, we don't tend to remember. Whatever we learn, we study in our school days or college days, we don't tend to remember because that is stressful. But learning through fun, as FUN2LEARN rightly says, that learning should always be fun. So we all remember our nursery rhymes the same way. You have put up the songs so beautifully. And if we make the kids hear these songs quite frequently, these things, it will be registered in their mind and they will learn to say no and they will learn to discuss with their parents. It's very beautifully done, and definitely we would wait for in Indian language too. Definitely we would wait for that. And would you like to play another song, or let me come back to my question? How do you want?
We can do a question, it's fine. What
okay.
I want to
Chrissy, we
I
couldn't
so
hear
agree
you.
with you on what children learn. And when you put, oh, sorry,
Yes, now we can hear you. Now we can hear you. Krishi, you are muted. Neeta, does Krishi has to unmute or you have to do it?
there we go.
Neeta?
Okay,
Done, ma'am.
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was just saying that I totally agree with you that learning through music is so much more beneficial, especially for something like this, because the children do keep it in their minds. It's something that they will continue to remember, these little songs and these little rules, you know. So it's really important. And I always say, you know, people think that the My Body program is just one song. It's 6 songs, and it's really important to do each one because each song has got a lesson and something to do it. And for the teachers, I'm going to try and share one of the songs on the video just now, because all the songs are done with cartoons. So the kids should enjoy them, and they've got the words on them. And when I'm doing the Hindi ones now, they will have their own cartoon words going up, can learn them. So that'll be good. So did you have a question?
Yes, so as you have beautifully done with songs, because songs are the best way to communicate and make your kids teach, be it educators or parents. Now, apart from that, I wanted to know what type of precautions does a school parent takes to protect their children, like as the general things we all have discussed, but for the school going kid, because lot of things we hear, and as a parent, all of us are concerned that okay, at home we can protect our kids, but how do we go about if when a child goes out or in school? So how?
Okay, so this song, this next song, which is called the What If game, is where we tackle this. There's a few things that we tackle here. One is strangers, and I know we all teach our kids don't talk to strangers, don't go with strangers, and everything like that. But I found out when I was working with children that they don't know what strangers are. If you say to them, "What is a stranger?" they will go, "It's a bad man." So I said, but if it's a teenager, a girl teenager standing over there, is that a stranger? No, that's just a teenager. That's a girl, you know. So they don't realize. So first thing you need to teach children is that a stranger is anybody they don't know, whether it's old or young, you know, whatever. It's anyone you don't know is a stranger. And then if mommy or daddy introduce you to a stranger, that stranger can become a friend. But if you don't know them, don't go with them. The second thing is, don't go with them, even if they know all your mom and dad's names and your aunts and uncles, your grannies, grandpas, because people can find all this information on the internet and try and pick up children. So we also encourage you to share that with the children, that don't go with anyone, even if they know your names. The third thing that I like to do is encourage a code word. So if somebody's got the code word that you use with your child knows that they're safe to go with that person. So make it something that is very special to you and your children, not something common that everybody might use. So, but we talk with a code word with older children as well, texting a code word to their parents if they're in trouble, or if they've got into a peer pressure situation where they need help, text a code word to your mom and dad. So code words are good for kids. But as far as going to school, so we don't go with anybody out of school that we don't know, that's a stranger. And in school, we've also got to realize that there are other children that may try and hurt our children, try and even be sexually abusive with our children. So again, we need to have these talks when they go to school and say, if anybody does anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to tell the teacher, you need to come and tell me. You know, it is your body. Nobody has a right to touch you or hurt you. Or as far as bullying goes as well, we need to encourage children to talk up about bullying and be forthcoming with what is going on with them. I think the biggest thing we need to teach children is to communicate any of their problems so that we can keep up to date with what's going on with them, with their mental health, and their physical well-being. It's really important.
Right. So that was, and I really, love the way you have done it, designed it through songs to convey the message, because songs are the best way to communicate your message. And how do we make the kids understand? See, when we talk about abuse, we talk about good touch as well as a bad touch. See, when so how do we make, especially the younger ones, differentiate between the
Okay.
good touch and the bad touch? See, as a child, I may want to hug a child with good intention that the child has done something good. So how do we make our kids understand that?
Okay, I don't teach children good touch, bad touch,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll tell you why. Because I feel we're putting the onus on the child to try and make the decision: is it good or is it bad? So I would prefer to give them rules, to say, if somebody touches your private parts, say no. You know, that is a no touch area. Okay. But if somebody hugs you and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you can say no as well. So, but to try and make a child differentiate between something good and bad, I think it's better to say, this makes you feel uncomfortable, you can say no. And I think as parents, we shouldn't always force our children. I know we want our children to be good, and when we see other people, you know, go and hug auntie or uncle or, you know, whoever, we encourage them to do that. And some children sort of go, no, I don't want to. And we say, go and hug. We shouldn't do that, because we don't know why they feel uncomfortable with that person. So a good thing to do is, if they don't want to hug and kiss and do all that sort of thing, we say, well, go and shake hands. There you go. Give them an alternative to how they are feeling, you know. And as I say, I feel, especially with the young children, trying to differentiate between good and bad touches is a difficult thing for them. And we need to make this as easy and as uncomplicated as possible.
Right. So very, very nicely explained, Chrissy. And I would like to inform you that today one of our guests is from Mauritius also, who is hearing you. And she has sent me a message on the personal window that a very nice way of making the kids aware about.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. So Amita ma'am is from Mauritius. Amita ma'am, would you like to say anything? Any question you would like to put up to Chrissy? Amita ma'am, if you are there, please unmute yourself. Anita, just check. Yeah. Till as you have rightly said, I think she is not able to unmute herself. My colleague Anita is checking on it. So
Okay.
very beautifully you have made. Garima, please mute yourself. Garima. Nita, please mute Garima.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Amita ma'am is unmuted.
Yes, Amita ma'am.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm really blessed to hear you all. Yes, the special thing being I'm from Mauritius, but that's not so special as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you continue.
Yes. Actually, what I believe is every learning experience, when it is fun-filled, it is long-lasting and it remains with the children for a long time. In my entire teaching career and dealing with children, I have always believed in fun part in learning. Involve all their senses and they will learn, will retain, and they will enjoy. Any experience, we all are adults today, any experience that we have associated with fun, we love it. We love to experience it yet again, and then we live it as well. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk. And I would like to tell Ms. Chrissy, your song part is so lovely. I used to take lessons in yoga, kids yoga classes. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to have my own songs for it, and I used to love interacting through songs. So I'm truly on board with you that songs really help children in
very
inculcating.
powerful.
Yes, it is indeed. It is indeed very powerful. And as I said, it's all about retention in children. You tell them something, they may forget. You let them experience it, and they will remember.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so true.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
I'd
much,
also-
Amita ma'am. Yeah. Yes, Chrissy.
I was just going to say that if any of the teachers are interested, on the website, there's a course that you can do. Well, there's two courses. There's one, Introduction to Child Maltreatment, which tells you, it gives you statistics, tells you how to deal with a child if they talk to you about their abuse, and how there's a document on how to report. And that's the first part of the course, and then the second part of the course is how to teach my program. So if you want to, it's all free. Everything on this program is free to download, to use, whatever. So please help yourselves if you're interested.
Definitely, most of us would love to learn this so that we can impart this knowledge to our kids. Educators will definitely, and we will pass it on to the parents as well. So,
Lovely.
Chrissy,
Thank you.
Chrissy, any other song which you would like to make our audience hear?
Okay, I'll just get the next one up for you. This one is called the What If Game, and this one we shout no loud when we come to this part. This is the no song. And this is also a great song to use for what's going on in your community. So we say, this is happening. What if this happened? How would you deal with it? And then you can explain to children and give them scenarios as to how they can deal with it. So in the song, we deal with a babysitter that might try and touch your private parts, or somebody trying to pick you up from school, and also somebody in the home that might be trying to touch you inappropriately. So, but you can use all sorts of things when you're doing this song. And with the program, also I've got a workbook that children can color, they can draw. So it's got the words to the songs, and then they can participate. So you can make this like our previous lady was saying, you can make it an experience for the children, not just a talk or something like that, which they might not listen to, but they can get involved. Okay, so here we go.
We're gonna play the What If game. It's questions and answers for you. If you wanna be a winner every time, this is what you've got to do. Say no. Just say no. What if after school a stranger tries to take you home, and it's driving in his shiny new car, and they say, hello, you want a ride? Oh no, you're a stranger. I won't go for a ride in your car, 'cause my mommy and daddy told me never to go with someone I don't know. I'd say no. Just say no. Now what if you're at home and the babysitter's looking after you, and they try to touch you under your clothes? What would you do? You'd say no, babysitter. I don't want you touching me there, because those are my private parts, and my body don't belong to you. I'd say no. Just say
playing the what if game. It's questions and answers for you. If you want to be a winner every time, this is what you got to do. Say no! Just say no! There's some more of the song, but we'll carry on.
Wow, wow,
but-
simply wow. Yes.
Great. So there's our no song, you know. So as I say, each song has something, you know. If it don't feel right, say no. It's my body. We're teaching in each song and reinforcing in each song to empower children that this is their body and nobody has a right over their body.
So, Chrissy, you have explained it through songs. You have conveyed this message so beautifully. So, any message you would like to give to all the educators, parents, kids who are attending and who are watching you today live?
Yes. Well, all I can do is say, please, let's have this conversation. Have this conversation with your kids. Have the conversation with your friends, because I know there are a lot of you out there that have been abused and never really spoken about it. And the only way to get over this, and I think this is also why it's so hard for us to talk about, is because it's close to us. It's either happened to us or it's happened to a friend or a colleague, and that we know about it. And it's very close to a lot of families. So that makes it difficult. But unless we start talking about it and making it okay to talk about, and making it to the fact where it's not acceptable. Abuse of children, and in fact abuse of anybody, is not acceptable, but especially of our children. You know, they're trying to grow up, they've got all these things going on in the world that they've got to deal with. We don't want to give them extra burdens and then maybe turn a blind eye to abuse that is going on. You know, we've got to talk and we've got to do something about it. Just to give you an idea of some statistics, because it's really quite staggering. Like I said, 90% of abusers know their abuser. So it's somebody within the family or close circle of friends. 95% of child abusers were themselves abused as children. 80% of substance abusers were abused as children. 80% of runaways cite abuse as a problem. 95% of prostitutes were sexually abused as children. 78% of prisoners were abused as children. And 50% of suicide attempts are because of abuse. So it shows you what it's doing to our societies. And this is all preventable. That's the thing. There's so many things we can't do something about, but abuse is something that we can all do something about. We can talk about it, we can educate, and we can make sure that our children have places to go and talk that are comfortable and supportive. So that's the message, is share this as much as possible with everybody that you can, and let's do something about it. It's within our power to make this change.
As rightly said, it's all in our hand to make the change and to educate more and more of kids. And rest, we have to teach them to learn to say no, as you are rightly saying. Now, before we wind up, I would like, if any guests have any query, you can put it in the chat box so that we can ask Chrissy about it. And my colleague Neeta has put it in the chat box, the WhatsApp group link, wherein feedback form would be submitted. So we would like to have your feedback, and I'm sure you all would love to have the songs also of Chrissy. So just the feedback for the WhatsApp group link, join that. And till that time, I would just like to say, Chrissy, today, like you have entitled us with the most delicate topic, most delicated and most of the time untouched topic. because many of them, they avoid to discuss on this, but which is the need of the hour. And your insights have been something, maybe some of us can relate to our childhood. Many of us maybe can relate to our childhood, but we don't express or we don't share with anybody. So we just have to be more vigilant and aware towards our child's behavior, their patterns, their mental well-being, so that they get that comfort level to discuss with us freely, as you have given the exact statistics of how most of the people, like, they have already been abused. So the right statistics have already been so I would just like to thank you on behalf of India, each one of us, for giving and sharing your wonderful information and valuable time. And I'm so grateful to you that you shared it in such a beautiful way through songs, because learning, as we also rightly say, learning should always be fun. And this abuse, child abuse in song way learning, it was such a fun way. So once again, on behalf of India, heartfelt gratitude and thank you for being with us. And to the viewers, I would like to say, stay tuned with a more new topic, untouched topic with our guests. Stay tuned with us. And thank you. Namaste from India. Krishi, namaste from India.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So signing off for today, and it was really an amazing session, quite enriching and learning session. And I would like to spread these songs to as much as educators and parents, which I can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you to all the educators. Thank you to all the educators and parents who have attended our workshop. Rita has raised her hand. So Rita, before we wind up, if you have any question, quickly unmute yourself. Quickly unmute yourself. If you have something, you have just raised your hand. Okay, I think she's not able to do that. Okay, thank you so much. If she has a query, I will send you via WhatsApp.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. It was a great learning. Thank you for your valuable time.